Hello, ladies, and welcome to our weekly Community Connect call. I have been looking forward to this call all week because we have a very special woman joining us tonight. Her name is Lisa, and Lisa and I started working together way back in June of 2020. So it has officially been 5 years. Now, in those 5 years, she has taken a break and gone on her own. She has done the alumni program, but she's back for bigger and better goals as she is turning 60 in September. Yeah, welcome, Lisa.
Thank you so much, Lexi. And I really am so honored to be here. Thank you for asking me to speak and share tonight on our community call. I can't wait to sing your praises, our
I'm so
praises.
excited.
I'm honored.
So,
Go ahead, you start.
yeah, I just wanted to pull up where you started to where you are now. So, give me a second just to find it here. So, when you initially joined Lady the F Up,
I did not want to take my picture either.
this is where you were. So, you were 174 pounds.
Mhm.
And we have undergone, call it like a 30-pound body recomposition in that time. And
Yes.
when I look at these photos, like you have bigger shoulders now than you did when you were heavier, but this is all muscle. And you have a super defined core now, and we can see your quads. When we look from the side profile, that ab line and like rounded shoulders, and you actually have leg muscles now, which have been built over 5 years of training legs, call it minimum 2 times a week, ongoingly for 5 years. And then in the back as well, like your back, same thing, is wider than it was in your before photos, but that is muscle that you have built. So, how does that feel seeing those side by sides?
It feels amazing. And thank you for showing me again from the woman that in the very beginning, I didn't even want to take photographs. And I was so worried that somehow they were going to accidentally end up online. Like I was so like nervous. And to see how far I've come, I'm like a different person. And it's all thanks to your guidance, Lexi, and your education and your knowledge and our hard work.
Yeah. I guide, you do the work, and you have consistently done it. And that's what sets you apart from some people who join for like 6 weeks or 12 weeks or even just 6 months and are like, cool, thanks, bye. You continually want to level up. Like you hit where you want to be and you're like, cool, I'm there. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. That drive to always be more. I love it.
I love it too. I love training with you, and I love the training, and I love how I feel. Um, I can start now. I've written a few things about us and what
Yeah.
we've done. So, as Lexi mentioned, I'm a seasoned Lady the F Up veteran. I joined Lexi and Lady the F Up during the pandemic, and I'm so thankful that I did. Because before the pandemic, I was not taking proper care of myself at all. And that wasn't typically me. I'm a realtor, but I'm also a yoga instructor. So I tended to typically look after myself, but I have been stressed at my job for a good couple of years, working a lot of hours. And I was at the tail end, I believe, of menopause and at the tail end of being a single mom to two kids that I've just recently learned, both of them believe they have ADHD. So they've gotten a late diagnosis. So I didn't have that information when I was, and that awareness when I was raising them. So that there were peculiar things that I didn't always understand. So, anyway, all this to say, I had let myself go. And I was beginning to feel depressed. And I don't really have a history of depression, but I was feeling depressed and isolated at the start of the pandemic and burnt out. So enter Lexi, and all that changed. It really did. And I remember kind of even quickly because she uh, pushed me to just focus in on myself, that I couldn't control what was going on in the world or in my life or anything else, but I could control, what I was doing in my day and how I was looking after myself and focus on the stuff that I could control. So we started setting goals and improving, and I began to really love it. And I loved training at home online. I just think it's so brilliant. I don't ever want to go back to a gym. Like C and I are discussing that I need to, but
Just a little
um,
bit of a push after five
yeah,
years of home workouts, change it up a little.
you know. Um, So we brought the focus back to my higher health. And um, pre-Lady the F Up, I was typically fit, but I may have been like I exercised during 2 pregnancies, went to a gym and watched my diet, but I slowly got turned off gyms, maybe 10 years ago, due to time constraints and a busy career, or at least that's what I told myself, and raising 2 kids as a single mom. So the good news is, over the past 5 years with Lady the F Up, I've done, I'm going to rattle off 10 things here.
Let's go.
I've never been more fit, and I'm seeing abs for the first time in my 59 years. Like I really am seeing abs, and I never have. I've done 2 photo shoots, and they've both been empowering in different ways. 2 CN Tower climbs, and raised personally about $2,000 for World Wildlife Fund, and that's near and dear to my heart. I'm really proud of that. I've learned and embraced new habits and kicked old habits to the curb that weren't serving me and my goals. I've launched 2 daughters with late ADHD diagnosis and as a single mom. I've been in an issue of PWP magazine, moved my elderly mom twice due to a diagnosis of dementia. And now, so I no sooner launched my kids and then I have another kid with my mom, but that's okay, with a diagnosis of dementia. And now we're starting to wonder if she may also have Parkinson's. So I moved my mom once locally in St. Catharines in 2023. And then I made the big move to move her to Toronto 2024 because I am her really primary and only caregiver. I celebrated a 1 year anniversary with my life partner. I've received lots of compliments, and I've become gluten, dairy, and alcohol free. And that has really contributed, I think, to my health, not only digestion wise, but I believe it's helped my asthma.
Hmm.
I've attended 2 Lady the F Up holiday parties, and then 2 Hammer and Lady the F Up combined holiday parties. And yeah, what's the common thread? It's Lexi and Lady the F Up. So I feel like I'm aging backwards and I'm just getting better and better. And I swear Lexi knows me better than myself. And this is no coincidence. So my experience, I just want to say, anybody that's here, that's listening, or has friends that are considering, can watch a recording. It's been life changing. It's been worth all of the highs, all of the lows, every drop of sweat and embarrassment, and mistakes and tears and laughs. And it's been worth all the push forward, and time and consistency in order to feel my best self. That's what it's been about. It's just feeling my best self. The bonus is I've never looked better. That's sort of for me the cherry on the top. For me, it's the energy and how I feel. So Lexi at any moment has been like available for a phone call. She's cheering me on with kindness, patience, compassion, and designing, honestly, the best programs. Like I love everyone more. I never want to say goodbye to the last program. And then I'm like, when I get the new program, oh, okay, all right, I feel better. I like this one. This is good. Um, and that's where the part that Lexi knows me so well comes in. I truly believe that if Lexi and I hadn't created this healthy body, my life, things could look different now, like, and not in a good way. And there's more to come. So I'm now training with Magda once a week at headquarters. So I'm back at the gym, and I'm turning 60 this year. And I've set a goal. My latest goal is to do a third photo shoot to celebrate that milestone. And one of my yoga clients said recently, you look like you're turning 50 and you're more fit than most 40-year-olds. So it was a really proud moment. So I guess in conclusion, I just want to say, and I'm open for questions or any feedback, but I'm so grateful. I have had Coach Lexi and Lady the F Up in my corner through all of it. Everyone from my longstanding friend Deborah Bash, who recommended I speak to Rima from the start, when I phoned probably in tears saying we're all the good men, to Rima, to Lexi, to all the fabulous women. I celebrate all of you and I celebrate with you because this is for our health, our energy, our vitality, and to live our best life. And as I say, looking my best is a bonus. However, I would say the biggest flex is being my best mentally, physically, and spiritually, and putting all that energy into my career, my relationships, and my life. So thank you, Lexi and Lady the F Up. I feel so lucky to be supported by such a professional, hardworking, educated, successful, passionate, and talented group of badass women. And thank you for having me speak. And I'm open for any questions.
Yeah. We love having you as part of the community. One thing that really sets you apart is that life can throw so much your way, but you get the job done no matter what. Like if there's 4 workouts on your calendar and 3 cardio sessions, you get them done. You name ahead of time at your check-ins, being like, okay, I'm going to be away on this day and away on this day so that I can program your upcoming week so that it's like, okay, maybe instead of us doing 4 days of 20 minutes of cardio, we're going to do 3 days of 30 minutes instead, and we'll spread them out that way. So your openness and your communication is top tier. It's gotten better over the years. I remember
Yes.
having to like call you out on things
Yes.
previously, be like, don't wait until check-in, let me know when things happen. Yeah, but your desire to consistently show up no matter what life has thrown at you, whether it's kids or work or social travels with your partner who you have inspired to take care of his health as well, which is
Yes.
super
Yes.
special.
Yes, and I have referred him to man the F up, and I've also over the past 6 months kicked his butt to get moving, and he's finally starting to get moving. And it was based on a suggestion last weekend that you had recommended for me. I said, I'm really tired. I don't feel like doing my legs. I'm going to do it. I was communicating with you. And you said, you know what? Do one set of each. And that made all the difference. When I thought it's only going to take me 20 minutes and I've only got to do one set, I just went and did it right away. That was like the best suggestion. So then the weekend afterwards, I thought this is going to work perfectly for my partner. So I said, just go through and do one set of each. He says, really? And I said, yeah, it's like 10 times better than just sitting around all day and doing nothing about it. I said, no, don't feel the overwhelm. Just do one set. And he did. And now he's like kind of more engaged.
Yeah. Something is always better than nothing, and that's a lesson that you've learned over time. Some of the things that you've done really well is navigating trips too. So this is through the experience of us working together for as long as we have, but you recently went to a trip to Nashville and like you were able to enjoy yourself, have
Yes.
things that, yes, cause digestive inflammation, but you named going into it, these are my intentions. I'm not going to be working out. I'm going to be walking a lot. And when I come back, I recognize the scale is going to be up a little bit and that's worth it to me. And I'm going to get back on track right after. And that is exactly what you did.
Yes. Yes, I know. And we really enjoyed Nashville. And I didn't drink. I didn't have anything to drink. We just kept ordering water. I mean, it's a small miracle in Nashville. But my thing was I wanted to try the pecan desserts and the desserts. That's my vice. That's my thing. So I did. I had the gluten. I had the dairy. Not crazy amounts, but yeah, I loved it. And I'm glad that I did. And I felt really liberated to just take those 4 days and not worry about it, just enjoy and deal with everything when I got back. And it's worked out well.
Yeah. Because when we zoom out and we look at your entire year, 4 days in the call it 365, okay, probably not 365. Let's go like 325 days where you're consistent because you know life
Yeah,
happens. 4 days doesn't undo anything. And like you've navigated trips to the UK, you've navigated trips to Las Vegas, you're doing
really.
DC later. Like every single time that you go away, you take that experience of what did I do last time that I really enjoyed? What was worth it? What wasn't? And you apply that moving forward.
Because I've embraced it, because it's so worth it. I've embraced it and I've changed. And as I was saying, I've kicked the old habits that didn't work to the curb. It's just not worth it anymore. It's not worth it to whatever binge in the evening or miss my exercises or not take the best care of myself or miss my water. It's just not worth it anymore. I notice it now. My body is uber aware and we've created a health monster in a good way. And I never want to go back. I don't want to feel the way I used to feel. I want to feel well.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about photo shoots. So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen here. So when we did our first shoot, oh my boxes in the way. Here we go. So this was the first shoot done at Hammer Fitness HQ. And this was a fitness photo shoot. So you'd done photo shoots before, but never a fitness photo shoot. And
Right.
when this opportunity came up, I know you were like a little bit apprehensive, but also you were like, you know what? Let's do it. And
Yeah,
once you had committed, you became very, very excited. And these are two of my favorite images from that shoot, which was 2022. So that was 2 years into, oh no, that was 2021.
I think so. And
Yeah.
already I'm noticing I kind of forgotten that I really already had muscles in my arms and my abs. They
Mhm.
got stronger.
Yep. So this was 2021 because 2020 we couldn't do any photo shoots with the lockdowns and stuff. And
Right.
then you decided to do the following shoot 2022. So this was the year after where you just looked fucking incredible. Like this was what you were 57, I think, like
So, yeah.
hottest 57-year-olds that I know.
Thank you. Thank you. That's so nice of you to say. Thank you.
Oh,
I felt so good. I just felt so good and confident. Like the first photo shoot, I was nervous and still a little camera shy. This one, I was dancing around and having fun with it. And you were saying stuff in the background, and I was starting to laugh. And we just had so much fun that day.
yeah. What was your like, what did you feel leaving those photo shoots compared to when you went in, especially that first one?
Confidence, confidence. And also, oh my God, is that me? Is that my body? Is that how I look? It's the weirdest thing. I don't know. Like, how do I not see it in the mirror and I see it in the photo? But um, like kind of shock, like surprise. And even more so the second time around. Um, and just really proud of, what I've accomplished. And I think it shines through in the photo shoot, that happiness and that confidence and that empowerment. I think it shines through. Um, just proud.
Good. And I'm very, very, very excited for September. It's been 3 years since you've gotten in front of the camera. We're going to do another shoot with Arsenic and celebrate the 60th birthday, which, like, your physique already has surpassed the 2022 shoot that we have done. And now we're going to continue to push and get you
Yes.
even leaner over the next 14 weeks there. And I'm so excited for it because, yeah, you've worked so hard.
I have, and I understand so much more because of you. Like, I remember all your education talks that I used to attend, and you've just taught this community so well. And now you're doing the training at the headquarters, and you're just so giving in terms of the information, and you just want the best for your people and your clients. And there's nobody like you guys. And I say it to my friends all the time. I don't know why they don't like, I don't know why they don't start, but whatever. I think older women just, I don't know, they give up or whatever, but maybe one day they will. But um, I want it for everybody. Like I want all my loved ones to do it because I just so know the difference. I understand, how important it is and how it's changed and helped my life.
Yeah. And doing it with a community is so special. So, yeah, like you named in your introduction there, you're training with Magda now, who I believe is on the call here. And you have made connections with people when you go into HQ every single week. You see Rima regularly. You and Deb have a background. A lot of people think that we're just like faces online, but we're real people that are exactly the same in person as well. And it's like it's so special when we get to spend time in person.
I really like going to headquarters. I miss it when I don't see my buddies. I was saying to Magda, I get to see my buddies. I don't want to join just a general gym. Like it's so nice when I come in here and I know the owner and Rima's there as well, and the other owner and Goldie and Mel and just everybody. Like I really love the familiarity and I feel even more confident now in a gym setting. And I like the size of the gym. It's not overwhelming. It's easy to navigate. Um, and I just know the principles are so good and it's so safe. I'm not going to hurt myself. I'm not going to cause any injury to myself. I'm just going to do really hard work, which is all I want to do. So I love it.
Yeah. And your home training efforts from being at HQ as well. I've seen a difference in the amount of personal bests or how you're applying progressive overload at home because you're like, oh, this is what it feels like to push, and this is what it feels like to truly hit failure because you can think that you're working hard, but when someone's beside you being like, one more, one more, one more, that's when you know you're pushing yourself.
Yes, and I've really grown in that regard, thanks to you again, because I used to think, oh, I'm really tired, like I better stop, right? Like, but now I know that when I'm really tired, that's almost like kind of like just the beginning. Like I probably have five, maybe eight more in me, and to just keep going, even though a little bit hurts. Like in the past, I might have thought, it's kind of hurting. Like, stop for what, for God's sakes, woman. Like, it's hurting. But now I know that a little bit hurts in a good way. I know that my muscles are growing, that they're tearing and rejuvenating, and I get it. Plus, with my recent knee Baker cyst that I had, the movement is what helped it to feel better. And like everybody was asking, so what bothers it? I said, what bothers it is sitting. I need to move it. And then it seems to be feeling better. So it started in March before the CN Tower climb. I was a little worried I wouldn't be able to do it. But we just kept moving full ahead. Like, you never panic. I love how calm you are. You're always so like even kill. Like, I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to do the CN Tower climb? I got a bum knee. And I just did it and it was fine. And now a couple months later, the report is that it was a Baker cyst. It's going to be gone and I don't even need any treatment. So thank God we didn't throw my whole world upside down and not do the CN Tower climb. And it all worked out, but it's because you're behind me, supporting me, and I know you have my best interest, and you wouldn't say something if it wasn't true. You wouldn't encourage me to keep going if it wasn't for my higher self. If there was something really wrong, you would say, yeah, Lisa, I don't think you better do it. But I know that if you say, no, I think you'll be good, and I'll be there at the top, I'm fine.
Yeah. So special. I'll share
Yes.
a couple of the photos from the climb too. Oh, maybe. There we go. Where did my share go? Hold on, let me try one more time. Share. There we go. So we have a beautiful photo shoot. So
Aw,
this was the first year that you did it.
yes.
And then when I reached out being like, hey Lisa, you gonna do the CN Tower climb again this year? You were like, I don't know. It was so hard last year. And I was like, come on, you can do it. And
Yes.
you did it again. There's us at the top this year.
I will do it next year, but much earlier in the day, because when I went this year around 9 or something like that, I found that it was very busy and I felt a little claustrophobic and it also slowed me down. And I was also making sure I was out of everybody else's way. And I just found the whole thing really distracting. So I will do it, not crazy crack of dawn, but I'll probably do it. I'll just get down there at 7:30 and hope that it's not as busy
Yeah.
and just get it done early. So you don't have to wait around for me any so long. Felt
What
bad.
did it feel like making it to the top?
Amazing. And it felt better the second year. Like it felt not easier, but it felt better. I started off a little claustrophobic, which I didn't have the year before, but then I just collected myself and I thought, there's no way out of this. The only way is up. So I kept going and I just got into my mind and into my focus and was just careful to watch for others. And when I got to the top, it was like, oh, that was a breeze. Like that was fine. It was great because we trained so well for it. I'm stronger. I think I weighed a little less, and I had done it before. And it's so important, for the World Wildlife Fund for the animals. I sleep better knowing that maybe the animals have a little more food because of that event. So yeah, it just felt great, and I
Good.
was looking for you, my
Yeah.
buddy.
Wouldn't leave until every single Lady of the FF climb
Uh,
made it
I
to.
know I told you you could, but it was so nice to have your hug and also have an opportunity to wish you luck on your big day as well, which was coming up in just a couple of weeks. Like you're such an inspiration. I can't believe you're at the CN Tower waiting around for me like 2 weeks before your big show.
Yeah, and then I wouldn't have it any other way. Waking up early, like because I'm in Barrie, and it was like, oh, it's a 3 o'clock morning to have to be there for the 6 a.m. climb time that we were doing. So it was a long day, but I ended up having to go to the gym and do my training and my cardio after the CN Tower climb too, because this picked it up and was like, nah, you didn't even get your heart rate over 150. And I was like, oh, okay. So
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, I want to get, maybe I'll think about my time a little more next year. I just want to make it to the top these past couple of years, but next year maybe I'll think a little more about my time. I'm okay. It's not about the time for me, but next year if I'm stronger and leaner, maybe I'll beat my time, and I won't be delayed by crowds of people to try and maneuver around and all the rest. That would be fun.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that you expressed concern about the first CN Tower climb was your asthma.
Mhm.
And like, yes, the dust in the stairwell, and it is a very challenging thing. Like, I remember getting up to the top the first year and it felt like my lungs were burning on the inside. But I just want to like talk about your asthma experience a little bit because those diet changes have made such a difference in the number of episodes or asthma attacks or just like your general breathing day to day. So what was it like before we figured out what those food allergies were for you?
Yes. So I would have to be on my asthma inhalers daily, one or two or three times a day, like for a lifetime. And I hated it every single time. I just hated that I had to rely on medication for asthma and that I'd be talking somewhere and I'd start coughing and all the rest. So the dietary changes have made a big difference. Regarding the CN Tower, the first time I did it, I did have that chest tightness, even though you and I have been training for quite a long time and I have been off the gluten and the dairy. My chest was tight for a few days, and that's I think was part of my hesitation when you said, "Are you doing it again?" Because my chest was so sore, and the other younger ladies were saying the same thing. This year I didn't have, and then when I got to the top, the first time I did it, I was looking for my asthma inhaler. So that was just a couple few years ago. But this last time, I didn't need my asthma medication at the top at all, and my chest wasn't sore. So I don't know. You do the math. I don't get it, but it's got to be that my cardiovascular capacity has gotten somehow overall better because I
Yep.
didn't need my puffer, and my chest was not tight, and now I'm not so worried about that. Like to do it now, next year.
Good.
It's improved tremendously.
Yeah. Now, for you, it was gluten and dairy were the main two for you that are the triggers.
Yes.
More so dairy, which is a really, really common allergy there. Yeah, we figured that out very early on. I think I started you off with no gluten, no dairy, right?
Yes, we figured it out very early on, but it took me a while to learn because dairy is in, honest to God, everything. And I remember the funniest thing. You're so on it. I love Miss Vicky's chips. So that was my one vice that I could still have. You say, you get French fries and chips. I'm like, oh, thank the Lord. Um, so feeling so hard done by with the things that I couldn't eat. And I was eating salt and vinegar Miss Vicky's chips, thinking, it's fine. It's chips. It's Miss Vicky's. It's just salt and vinegar. So there's dairy in that. And I'm like, there's dairy in salt and vinegar chips. And I thought you were crazy. So I looked at the ingredients and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Lexi always knows better. There's dairy and salt in the salt and vinegar Miss Vicky's. So now I just buy regular. Um, but the lesson is that dairy, I swear, it is in so much stuff. So that was a real learning curve to really learn and understand how to get around dairy.
Yeah.
Huge.
But
And
now you navigate it with barely any issues whatsoever.
yeah, now you can't pay me to have dairy and gluten because it honestly it gives me the runs. I went to my daughter's master's university grad and we had just returned from Nashville where I was eating dairy and gluten, wearing a white suit. I had to race to the washroom. Thank God it was fine. But like now I know it's like I was recently reminded, don't do it. It's not good. It's almost not worth it anymore, but whatever.
Got to live a little bit,
Gotta live
memories over macros sometimes, but you got back
I
from
did.
your trip, you got right back on plan, and we're continuing to get leaner. And this is like, we have your food moderate deficit, but so far we haven't had to do a ton of cardio to
Right.
get you to your leanest self. And
Yeah.
that's where I mentioned to you on check-in this week, being like, we're gonna have to start pushing cardio soon because where you were before, we want to blow that out of the water. So,
Yes.
yeah, the fact that you're only doing call it 3 days of cardio right now, plus
Yes.
15 minutes on the stairs when you're at HQ, just to keep the stair form
Yes.
in there. But like very short cardio, and your body is responding really well because you've built that muscle mass that you didn't have previously. And when you have more muscle, you're able to eat more food. But it's the cycles of the dieting and the reverse dieting and the build and the dieting and the reverse dieting and the build over 5 years that has gotten you to where you are.
Yes. Yes. Because at one point I was even eating over 2,000 calories. And actually, it was also you that I said, okay, so my goal will be to get somewhere in the 140s. Like, I'm going to be thrilled if I'm in the 140s, because you mentioned my weight at the beginning of the call. And then you said, I think you're selling yourself short. I think you can be in the one late, like the high 130s. And I thought, really? I was 139 on my wedding day, but that was like 30 years ago. But yeah, maybe. And now that you've put that seed in my head, I actually agree with you because I'm so close to it now that, and I can see where those pounds are, and with no judgment. But when you start to do this for 5 years, you can see, oh yeah, there's still areas that I can improve, and there's really no judgment, but it's just I see it. So why not? Why not take it to the next level?
Yeah. That's another thing that really sets your mindset apart is you're not self-critical. You are aware, and as you like named, that's an area for improvement, but it's not, I hate my stomach. I hate my legs. Oh my gosh, I fucked up this week and the scale went up forever. Like you always are so positive in your check-ins, being like, I'm feeling great. I would love a little bit more rest, or I would love if we could have a little bit more carbohydrates, but I'm feeling good. And if you want to keep me here, I'll keep doing it. Like your check-ins, I look forward to every single week because
Good.
they are rooted in self-belief. And that's honestly, that's been since day one. That's something that, yes, I've leaned into and amplified, but you came into this process and this lifestyle with that mentality.
Thank you, Lexi. I really appreciate that feedback. Thank you. I didn't realize any of that. So thank you. I really appreciate that. Very grateful.
Me too. Someone here left a comment a little bit earlier. iPhone 6 said, more beautiful in person, even, Lisa. Your magazine shoots were fire emoji, fire emoji.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's so lovely. Thank you so much. The compliments. I really appreciate it.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for joining us. Oh, Shauna. Thanks, Shauna.
Oh, hi, Shauna. How are you, honey? Thank you so much. Well, you know what a great journey this is for all of us.
Hi, I don't know why my name didn't show up. I was so excited when you first started talking and I commented, I'm like, you're so gorgeous. So congratulations. This has been amazing. And I'm so happy to know you.
I'm so happy to know you too, Shauna. I'm so
Sorry I
glad.
can't put my video on, but you
Oh,
look
no.
amazing.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And you know what? I really feel amazing, and I know you do too, and that's the best part, right?
Yeah, thank God for these ladies. Yeah, for
Thank
Deborah and Lexi.
God.
Amazing. Yeah.
Each and every one of them brings something a little bit different and unique. And thank you. Thank you. I remember we were volunteering at
Yeah.
the National Women's Show, and we met
Yep.
then. That was so lovely.
We're still supposed to go for a walk. We live near each other. We will.
Oh my goodness, yes. Yes, let's connect and do that. I would love it.
We will.
Okay, great. Such a great
Oh.
community.
That's so sweet. A beautiful way
Yes,
to end it.
it really is. It really is.
Thank you, Lisa, so much for taking the time to join us and share your story. We all appreciate it. And yeah, super inspiring. Age is just a number. Like you said, you're aging backwards, and it is such a pleasure to work with you. If anyone has any questions for Lisa that's watching the replay, you can find her on Instagram at Talieno Lisa. Or if you want me to connect the two of you directly, I'm more than happy to do so. Yeah, that's about it. Enjoy
Thanks,
your
Lexi.
evening.
Thanks,
Thank you
ladies.
so much, Lisa. We
Thank you.
appreciate you. Have a
Have a
great night, ladies.
bye.